Being in love can be tough at the best of times.
Yeah, but it's all buried under stuff.
Pick it up.
But with over 1.5 million adults in the UK out of a job, a relationship on benefits can be even harder. Meet 3 couples who are finding that life on the dole...
No, you're not dressing me up.
It'll dry as it is.
Don't be cocky.
...is taking its toll.
It's showing a strain on our relationship and everything now. Been arguing.
The couple who say they're happy spending their benefits as they plan for their dream wedding...
I proposed to Dave.
She waited while I got in the bath so I couldn't do a runner anymore.
The couple who used to have it all...
We was never without money. I mean, we never had to think about saving money, did we?
...but are now scraping by on benefits.
Money doesn't make you happy. Bullshit. It makes me happy.
And the engaged couple who say they're forced to live apart because they can't get a council house.
We're still not married, still live separate. It's a right good setup, innit?
Been 11 years now. You still want to marry me?
When you're on benefits, the path of true love doesn't always run smooth.
We can't afford to get married, but we're putting bits away so we can get married.
This is like our pretend aisle buy as well. Da, 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 da. Nearest I'm getting to an aisle.
Moston in Greater Manchester has a population of over 15,000, with nearly a quarter of its residents on some form of benefits. Among them are Karen and Paul, who've recently found themselves on the dole.
We was never without money. You know what I mean? There was some signs it was spilling out of our pockets. I mean, we never had to think about saving money, did we? If it was there, it was there.
Karen and Paul have been together as a couple for 27 years. For 10 of those, they run a successful laundrette. But 2 months ago, the business folded.
We had money where we could go out and get a car, buy a car, and what else? I'd go downtown, just buy clothes all the time. We'd go abroad every year. We'd spend Christmas and New Year in the Canaries, wouldn't we? It's showing a strain on our relationship and everything now. Been arguing.
Karen and Paul didn't want for anything while their business was successful. But now they and their 14-year-old daughter Madison have to survive on just £6,000 a year benefits.
There she is. No wishy-washy. This was above the shop that we used to own, the laundrette. Wishy-washy laundrette.
Mr. Wisher and Mrs. Washer.
And taking it down like I felt a lump in my throat. You know, choking it back. Gutted. Wishy-washy. Karen's idea. It's mind-numbing as to what's happened to us.
Wisher, washer. The burden of our life. The burden of our life.
With a laundrette full of washing machines, Paul and Karen didn't buy one for the house. Now they can't afford one, so they're forced to take their dirty laundry to what used to be the competition.
When I need a washing machine, I can't stand going to another laundrette, knowing that we had our own.
And it's not just lining the competition's pockets that's getting to Karen. She's unhappy about joining the ranks of the local unemployed.
You know, when you look round here, it like drags you into this deep depression, doesn't it?
Do you want me to see a bunch of shabby kids?
No, it's not just that. It's the whole area, like...
I mean, I just see like a bunch of shabby
Do you know when I was on the lane then? It actually, physically, made me feel sick. You know what I mean? You know, it did. It drags you into this deep hole.
Just drew £30 out, which leaves almost the bank empty. There's £30 now for the washing that we have to do now. It's another laundrette.
Karen suffers from a degenerative spinal condition. Even while they were running the laundrette, she claimed £500 a month disability benefit. Now the business has folded, her benefits are the family's only income while they wait for their claim to be assessed.
Still try to, like, sink it in, like, you know, being out of work and that. It's hard to accept. 10 years of, like, grafting like that, trying to keep it going and that.
I think we'll probably be given about £250, £60 a week, which, that'll make all the public think, oh, how dare you grumble at £256 a week if you look at how much shopping costs. It's like surviving, it's like a fight for survival, because you've got to try and make everything last, and I don't want to live like that. I hate not having money, I hate it. And I hate living off the stupid government, beholden to them as well. Can't stand it. Money doesn't make you happy. Bullshit. It makes me happy. Telling you.
According to recent government statistics, the Lower Faylinge estate in Rochdale is the UK's most deprived area. It's home to around 1,000 people, with an estimated 70% of them on benefits.
When I went out, I stopped to find. So yeah, no wonder this estate's got a bad rep.
Stop swearing.
I had to. Told them where to get off. I said, go and do it somewhere else. And I said, take your little muppets with you. Idiots, man. I said, do one.
Yeah.
On your bike.
The estate is also home to newly engaged couple Dave and Yvonne.
Come this way. I need to get pegs.
Yvonne says her sciatica means she's not fit to work, while Dave lost his cleaning job a year ago. They rely on around £1,500 a month in universal credit, 500 of which is to cover their rent.
Don't know where all the washing comes from, you know me.
I do. On wash basket.
Don't be cocky. Why are you putting them together like that when I did it separate so it'd dry?
It'll dry as it is.
Oh, my God.
Dave and Yvonne have both been living on the estate since before they met. But then romance blossomed and a leap year gave Yvonne the opportunity to pop the question.
I proposed to Dave on the 29th of February.
And she waited while I got in the bath so I couldn't do a runner anymore. So...
And I asked him, and then he said, I don't know. And then he started laughing. He went, yeah, of course I will.
She already told me what she was going to do. So I knew it was coming. So I stayed out an extra hour just to wind her up.
Yeah, so we're organising the wedding now, aren't we?
Despite their benefits budget, Yvonne's determined to have her fairy tale wedding.
Got 2 more payments on my dress, 6 more payments on the venue, and then the little bits I've been getting off eBay, so...
Never been able to save. Once it's one hand, it's out the other hand. And she won't get the bus at register office, is she, Ty?
No, I'm not getting a bus, I'm having a car, I told you. I'm getting a limo. Yeah.
While Yvonne and Dave have only recently decided to tie the knot, 48-year-old Brian has been engaged for the last 5 years.
If you've got a good woman behind you, you've got a strong man, and that's what I always say.
Brian lives in Denton, 6 miles from Manchester. Since losing his job 7 months ago, he's had to rely on £315 job seekers allowance a month. Brian says the Benefit Office have messed up his application for housing benefit, and so he's fallen into serious rent arrears.
Coming out of work and all that, like, I've still ended up, I think it's about 11 grand in debt, 12 grand in debt, I think with interest now and all that, like. I know what the next step is. I know it's going to be bailiffs. But they've got nothing to take off me, so it's all gone. There's nothing they can take. Can't plan what's going to happen next week, next month. Tomorrow's a new day. As long as I can keep that smile on my face, no one can take that off me, can they? I bet they'll say that in case they take the smile off my face.
Brian's fiancée, Rachel, lives in a 2-bedroom council house just a few minutes' walk away.
Rach! Oh, yeah.
Brian and Rachel have been an item for over 11 years, but have never moved in together. Between them, they have 3 kids, and they say until they can get a council house big enough for a family of 5, they'll have to continue living apart.
We're still not married, still live separate. It's a right good setup, innit?
Rachel, you had to check you had the right man for you. You know what I mean? You've had to check that. It's been 11 years now. You still want to marry me?
Of course.
For the time being, they have to split their lives between Brian and Rachel's separate homes.
We go shopping, it's so stupid. We have to go, right, that's for your house, that's for my house. And then I have to plan the teas for the week, don't we?
And then what we do, I'll come and have my tea with H. We sit down with tea, and then we get the other tea, wrap it up, that goes to bed.
Meals on Wheels.
And we've done it for 10 years.
10 years.
Brian's last job was 7 months ago, working as a traffic marshal at Manchester Airport. But after becoming angry about the working conditions, he decided to make a stand on the roof.
They brought in 0 contract hours. They started, you know what I mean, like then all the unions, yeah? They started targeting all the unions, trying to break them. And that's what they did, they nearly broke me. So I was going to work for nothing, yeah? So I stood on the roof to be heard, still never got heard.
Brian's one-man rooftop protest resulted in him losing his job and ending up on the dole.
To be fair, you got depressed.
Of course I did.
Because of the fact of you were going to work for nothing.
Exactly.
Rachel works part-time at a department store, and since Brian's been on benefits, she's had to dig deep to support him.
I'm doing 30 hours at the moment. I have to pay my rent, all my bills, food, shopping and stuff. And then when you've been struggling, we have to help Brian out, because that's the situation you're in. So it's like you start paying for 2 houses, and it is hard, isn't it?
Tonight, Rachel's cooked dinner, but rather than eating as a couple, Brian's taking it back to his flat.
And I'll save mine for in a bit. And that's what we basically do every night.
Coming up, Karen and Paul are struggling to balance the books on benefits.
So this is it for life, this is it.
Well, no, I hope not.
Well, what else do you do? Unless you come up with an idea about drug dealing.
And Dave dashes Yvonne's dream of a luxury wedding.
I was going to go for a Rolls Royce.
You think coming on here with a Rolls Royce is a good idea? It'd be all right coming on here with a Rolls Royce, it's just that you won't get off again because they'd nick the wheels as it parks up.
In Moston, Greater Manchester, Karen and Paul, formerly known as Mr. and Mrs. Wishy-Washy, are having trouble adjusting to life on benefits since their laundrette went bust.
Everything's gone. We used to have just a normal, I won't say we was rich, but we was comfortable. We could go out and buy clothes and do this.
This life is totally different to the one that we had. It's 10 years of change, you know what I mean? I haven't got a clue about any of it now.
No, I've not got a clue what's going on.
I don't want a clue of it. I don't want to be here on that whole life.
Big sharp shopping, and plus, what's more frustrating is it's not our fault. We didn't ask for this. We didn't want this.
In the 2 months since the business shut down, the family have been surviving on Karen's £500 a month disability allowance while they wait for their claim for extra benefits to be assessed. This morning, some money has appeared in their account, but they have no idea what it's for.
We just suddenly acquired in the bank £98 and a lot, and it said, oh, income support. Then I get this text through saying, oh, you've now allowed income support. And I thought, well, how much? How much are we allowed? What are we allowed?
We don't know if that was a weekly payment, a fortnightly payment.
I don't know what it is.
You know what I mean? And it's a feed the family.
Breakdown.
It's a feed the family.
Karen and Paul call the benefit office to try and find out if their claim has been assessed.
Income support query.
Please hold, and your call will be answered as soon as possible.
Oh, no.
Just make an inquiry about the income support that I've received.
About the amount that you received?
Yeah. The £98, yeah, that was to lasted for 2 weeks.
After a 15-minute call, Karen and Paul know exactly how much benefits they'll be getting.
133 a week, right, do it week because I get thingy weekly, don't I? Then you've got your 62 carers allowance. Then we've got 64 child tax, right? Right, 259. 259 a week.
How you got to work out what's going to come out of that?
Oh, right, well, obviously, we've got...
120 shopping.
Even though we should really have 160 shopping, whatever, but it's 120 shopping, isn't it?
With Karen's disability benefits, it adds up to around £19,000 a year. But the couple don't think it's enough.
So this is it for life, this is it?
Oh, no, I hope not.
Well, what else do you do? Unless you come up with an idea about drug dealing.
I was going to go for a Rolls Royce.
You think coming on here with a Rolls Royce is a good idea? It'd be all right coming on here with a Rolls Royce, it's just that you won't get off again because they'd nick the wheels as it parks up.
In Rochdale, newly engaged couple Dave and Yvonne are planning their dream wedding.
Ferrari. Can you honestly see me getting in a Ferrari?
Ferrari limo, that's nice. You can have that one.
Although they're on a tight benefits budget, Yvonne doesn't want to scrimp on luxuries.
We've got Rolls Royce Phantom hire. Oh, well nice them. Rolls Royce Ghost hire. Full leather interior, private divider, complimentary bar.
Complimentary, that's free.
Yeah.
You'll be drunk.
I won't be drunk.
This is why nothing's getting done.
Oh, be quiet. Chill out, will you? Can you tell me how much it'd be to hire either Millennium Fantasy or Millennium Royal, Failinge Flats, to Rochdale Registry Office? It's 275. Do you want that one then, Dave? Do you want to book it or do you want to...
We get paid at the end of
we get paid at the end of the month, so is it OK to ring up and book it then?
In the excitement to spend over half their weekly benefits on a £275 limo, Yvonne realises they've forgotten to book something rather more important.
We need to phone up.
Don't you?
The registry office.
Don't you?
Right, well, I was being busy, so I can't do everything, can I?
What was growling at me now?
I will growl at you.
Right, ring them now. Ring them now. There's no like the present, is there? Get it done and it's done, innit?
I should have done this ages ago, shouldn't I? I'm so stupid, really, but with everything else, I just forgot.
The reception's already been arranged, the transport's now sorted and the dress is almost paid off. But if the registry office is booked up, they'll have to postpone. And they stand to lose the £1,200 they've already forked out.
Hi, yeah, I wonder if you can help me. We're looking to get married next year on the 9th of September. Is there any vacancies that day? Dave, it's £27 if you want to do a provisional booking. I'm not telling you have to book it now, she said, but we can't actually say that them dates will be available if you don't book it. £27.
There's nothing we can do until end of month.
Not got anything at all.
With no money in the bank, Yvonne and Dave's fairy tale wedding is in jeopardy. All they can do is wait and hope the registry office is still available when their next benefit payment comes in.
She can't guarantee there's going to be spaces unless we book it. So hopefully we'll get some money and we'll book it. So, yeah.
In Moston, Karen and Paul are still waiting for the remainder of their new benefits award to be paid into their account. Since their laundrette went bust, Karen's disability allowance has been their only income. She was first diagnosed with her degenerative spinal condition 14 years ago.
An L5 disc. It actually looks like a cookie where you dunk it in a cup of coffee and it all falls apart, you know. That's what it looks like on the x-rays. It's that bad. And it's corroding all the time. You know what I mean? The disc is corroding all the time. And now she has one leg shorter than the other. And I know it sounds funny. And she got a bit of a walk like a penguin. So this is how life's going to be for Karen for the most of her life. But eventually she'll probably end up in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I've gone out more today. I don't usually get out of the car much. I don't, especially now because I just feel dead ill. I'm aching all the time and my conditions got worse and that's brought on through stress, 100%.
For years, Karen has had to rely on Paul for support and couldn't do any physical work at the laundrette. However, she did take care of the books.
She can remember numbers. Number cruncher. You know what I mean? She might be a normal wisdom sometimes, but I tell you, she can crunch numbers. So that's what her job was at the shop.
He does the physical work, I get all the brain, emotional and mental stress I get. He don't have that, he has more the physical stress. Oh, cheers.
Where should it be?
In Denton, Brian and Rachel say they're forced to live apart while they wait for a council house large enough to accommodate their family. They're struggling to get by on his £315 a month benefits and her part-time wage. Brian lost his job 7 months ago after his one-man rooftop protest and was subsequently signed off sick with stress by the Dole office. He's now been declared fit for work, so he has to sign on to get his benefits. He's hoping his housing benefit claim will also soon be resolved.
Well, I've gone in now and it's the first time I've signed on. This really now should be the beginning of the process now where it should get sorted out with my rent now. Let's just hope from today I can start moving forward from now.
Brian has had to rely on Rachel for moral and financial support ever since he lost his job.
Well, was it in there? Was the dramas there, or was it all right?
I've only been out of work, 7 months, and it's the first time I've signed on today.
No.
All this is for what? What do we get? £70? £70? When you're working, Rachel, we could go out, couldn't we, and spend £70 on dinner with the family and all that, like, do you get what I mean? Now it's got that way now, is you appreciate some coffee.
Because of the delay sorting his housing benefit, Brian is in rent arrears of £1,100, but he's hoping he'll be able to backdate his claim and get out of debt.
Once I get back on my feet and I know the rent's being paid, then we can start planning what we want to do in it. Then hopefully, you know what I mean, see what happens.
Hopefully jobs.
Yeah. I want to work for myself, Rachel. I don't want to work for someone else. You know, at the end of the day, I've had enough of it.
Brian says he wants to get off benefits so Rachel doesn't have to support him. He's always wanted to be his own boss and run a pub.
If we do find something, if we do get a bar or whatever, we'll look for it. can all work together. I don't know.
We'll have a normal life, because at the moment we live separate. I'm having to pay my bills and all my stuff. Then you've got to do it at your flat, buy 2 of everything. You have to buy stuff for your house, I have to buy stuff for mine. So it's dead expensive. It'd be so much easier if we lived together.
In Moston, former laundrette owners Karen and Paul have just been awarded around £13,000 a year benefits, on top of her £500 a month disability living allowance. But they say it's not enough to maintain their former spending habits.
Just stuff that we've accumulated over the years. It's our own stuff.
In a bid to boost their income, they're raiding the attic for items to sell at a local car boot sale.
This is 10 years of crap up here. So, I start digging deep. Electric fans, games, like electrical games like pinball machine, bubble gum machine there. We're doing it like because it's got to make ends meet, like, you know, money-wise. You just don't get enough to like live as a family on the dole.
It's either that or starve. It's not just a starving bit, is it? It's or have no electric or anything. Is there anything else up there?
No, it's just all shit now.
There must be other stuff.
Yeah, but it's all buried under stuff.
Well, pick it up.
Shut up. There's spiders up there.
Oh, shut up about your Molly Miders and pick it up. There must be tons of stuff up there. What is he up there, then? Why is it there?
I don't know, half it's boxed up.
It doesn't look like there's much cash in the attic, so Paul decides to rummage around their lock-up garage. But he's not confident what he's found is going to rake in the dosh.
Even though I won't get what I'll be asking for, I won't let nobody come along and say, like, daft like, pounds, like, you know what I mean? Because that's what they're like. They'll argue with you over 10 pence. Unless they're getting it for, like, pennies, you know, they don't want to know. But pennies what I've got to settle for, pennies it is.
Coming up, the car boot sale's not the earner Karen was hoping for.
It's been absolutely crap today. By the time you bought cigarettes and then paid the store 12 quid, there's nothing left, really.
And Brian's thinking about a future in the pub trade.
I've been having a look at that pub over there for a couple of weeks. Has anyone bought it yet? Is anyone moving in it yet?
In Rochdale, recently engaged Dave and Yvonne have booked their wedding car, paid for the reception venue and chosen her dress.
Have you got the money for the venue, please?
It's on your card. Yes,
Not on my card at all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Their £350 weekly benefits have just come through, so they've finally been able to book the registry office, which means the wedding can go ahead as planned.
Right, I've got the money for the dress in here to pay off the dress, part of the dress today.
Yvonne says being on benefits means they have to budget carefully to get the wedding of her dreams.
Weddings can cost up to £6,000, maybe more. But we're like doing it on a budget, so we're having to cut back on a lot of stuff. So that's why we're getting married in Rochdale Registry Office, because it's cheaper. And then just having the party afterwards.
We've tried to do it as best we can, but as cheaply
as we can. Not being skinflints or anything, but it's just we can't afford it.
Not
so.
too cheap.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Well, we're trying not to make it look too cheap, if you know what I mean.
As well as paying for the registry office, today's benefit payment will also cover the second down payment on Yvonne's £450 wedding dress.
I gave her £150 last time I came in.
Right.
And she said, you know, you can take your time paying it, but then she said it had to be paid in 3 months or something.
Yes.
So is that still the case?
Yes, it is.
Right. Well, I'll pay £150 today then, please. Yeah, please.
With her dress nearly paid off, Yvonne's now starting to think about accessories.
Oh, that's pretty. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. See, that's really really pretty. Sparkly. And then possibly have it all up. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. This one's 48, I think. Is this one 48? Is it too much, do you think? This one I like is slightly more expensive than on eBay, but it's really pretty, and I think it's going to be really nice. Got to have it right, haven't you?
Today, Yvonne spent over half of her and Dave's joint weekly benefits on the wedding.
But it's our money now, so now we're engaged and living together. It's our money, as they say. He's going to be gobsmacked. He's going to just stand there with his mouth open, I think, when he sees me coming down the aisle.
In Moston, ex-laundrette owners Paul and Karen have made a 4 a.m. start. Today, they're hoping to bolster their benefits by selling off some of their possessions at a car boot sale.
Not been to bed yet. Just had a bit of tea, about 12 o'clock. Then about 3 o'clock, come round here, started loading the car up. Shit, it's 4:20, better get a breather now.
After years running a successful business, they're still coming to terms with life on the dole.
We're only doing them because we're skinned. That's the only reason. If it's good, though, we might continue.
Dad, you need to move something else.
I can't move anything else.
Staying home.
You sit back up there, you're only going in the car, no?
Don't talk to me like that.
With barely enough room in the car for daughter Madison, they set off, hoping to catch the early trade.
So it's late.
But before they've even set up their stall, they're besieged by bargain hunters.
Right, you're going to have to come back in about 15 minutes or so, mate. Just give me 5 minutes, yeah? Still taking stuff out that's in there, so. Straight, you know what I do, mate?
It's not even 5:30 yet. We're not even had time to unpack everything. Hectic. Absolutely hectic.
That's 15 quid, that. Yeah.
What's the best you can do?
12 quid. 10 mate.
Could you do a 10? It's an old model, that.
That's not an old model, mate. It's 3D. You happy with that? Yeah, cool.
By 6 a.m, they've already made a few sales.
You don't even get a chance to open your boot and they're there around you. Like ants. No sugar.
But the money isn't exactly rolling in.
I'll take 8 quid on it. 8. You happy with that? Yeah. Cool.
They need to make more, as the pitch alone costs 12 quid.
The video is roughly just over an hour and 10 minutes. And with that time I've made about 18 quid. You know, it's not too bad. It's got the store money. Everything else now is just profit.
In Denton, after 7 months on the dole, Brian says he's desperate to get back to work after surviving on just £315 a month benefits.
Yeah, and it's all to do with money. That's what it all boils down to. If people are skint, they're going to do stupid things. The crime rate, you know, at the end of the day, when you're desperate, you'll do stupid things. I've been desperate. I'll hold my hands up. At the end of the day, I've got a family to run, you know, and at the end of the day, I'm nearly 50. I'm not a kid. And you've got to sort of, you know, think responsible about things.
Brian's had to rely on fiancée Rachel to keep him afloat, but he thinks he might have spotted an opportunity to fulfil his dream of getting into the pub trade.
I've been having a look at that pub over there for a couple of weeks. So what I might do myself is just go and ask them and see if anyone has took it. And if they've not, I just might look into it and see what goes from there. Has anyone bought it yet? Has anyone moving in it yet? Has it? Right, right. So it's actually got a new manager coming in and that, yeah? I've just got the number off the guy who can speak to, you know, direct, because if he'll have other pubs anyway. The guy who's in there, he's actually taking that over anyway.
Brian decides to call the brewery to see if there are any other pubs in the area in need of a landlord.
Hiya, mate. I'm just giving you... Are you to do with the, you know, for the pubs and that, for tenancies? Do you still have other pubs for tenancies in the Denton area?
Brian's in luck. There could be a potential vacancy.
Oh, that's brilliant. Cheers for that, mate. Take care now. Bye-bye. Out of that, I've just got a number. And hopefully next week, have a meet with him and take it from there and see what there is. So I've got things achieved today, that's the way I look at it. So do my job search and see where I take it from there. And as I keep saying, what will be, will be.
In Rochdale, Yvonne is planning her dream wedding to Dave.
We can't afford to get married, but we're putting bits away so we can get married, if that makes sense.
The couple receive over £18,000 a year in benefits, but Yvonne says she still has to find ways to be thrifty.
This is my wedding box that I've been putting little bits aside for, which I got off eBay. But the daft people sent me 2 pairs of shoes. So I've got 2 pairs of shoes, exactly the same. So, but I only paid for 1. So I can wear 1 for best, I suppose, and 1 for the wedding. So I've got the shoes. This is the cake topper. I thought it was quite sweet. You know, you just put it in the top of the cake. We're having the cake made by his mum. So that'd be good. He said no, but she wouldn't take no for an answer. I mean, you can pay up to, what, £500 for a cake?
Because Yvonne hasn't had to shell out on a cake, she's left with a little extra.
That's a veil, but it's not the veil for my wedding. It's a veil for the hen night. And I think it was on sale for £5. And it's got all the little pearls on it and what have you. Oh, that's my garter. So as you see, I've just got little bits. It saves a bomb when you just get things like this off eBay, because you can spend a fortune, can't you?
But with the wedding costing around £2,000, Yvonne's come up with a way of recouping some of the costs.
It's a poem, and it just asks if you can give money rather than get a toaster or something like that. I thought it was quite cute, so that we've got money for our savings and things like that. So that's what we've asked.
At the car boot sale in Moston, Karen and Paul have made enough to cover the £12 cost of their pitch.
Got some plants as well, little bits of stuff in there, like, you know. Yeah.
Let me have a think.
OK, fella.
But with the initial rush over, it's not been the earner they were hoping for.
It's only 7 o'clock a.m. We got till 12 noon.
It's dead slow. It's dead slow.
Having fallen on hard times since their laundrette went bust, they've resorted to emptying their attic to boost their benefit income.
It's as if you're begging for money. You know what I mean? Because you sell this stuff like so cheap.
Is it?
I mean, it's like you're begging for money. Well, I am, really. I'm begging. That is actually what I'm doing, really.
That was the blue one.
Everything 5 pence now.
But just as they decide to call it a day, Paul gets a little late trade.
Thank you. Yeah, you need that as well with it. Yeah? You OK? Just as I pack it up, I've been trying to sell it all day. Pinball machine. Most of the people I've been dealing with are adults, yeah? Do what I know, yeah? You know, a 10-year-old comes up, yeah. How much is it, mate? £2. Yeah, here you go. Straight up, no haggling. Thanks, mate. You OK with it? All right. £2 straight out.
Despite Paul's best efforts, Karen isn't happy with the day's takings.
I do both about 10 years old. What?
What did you sell it
£2
for?
each.
Oh my.
Can't win, can I?
It's been absolutely crap today on the car boot. Because by the time you bought cigarettes, a tenner that we took out to the shop, and then paid the stall 12 quid, there's nothing left, really. So we've got about 35 quid to last us. What's 35 quid? It doesn't get you nothing, does it?
Coming up, Brian and Rachel get some bad news.
The company's gone into administration. I just don't know if I've got my job or what.
With their wedding approaching, Dave and Yvonne are worried they could lose their benefits.
I'll probably come out a bit angry if they're going to stop me money or anything.
And if her disability allowance gets cut, Karen's decided on radical measures.
If I get refused now, I'm going down to Downing Street. Smack David Cameron's face.
In Rochdale, Dave and Yvonne are still planning their fairy tale wedding. But the added costs are putting pressure on their £350 a week benefits budget. Today, Dave is making his fortnightly visit to the job centre.
Lack of jobs all over this place. It might look thriving, but there's no jobs here. No jobs whatsoever. So all we can only do is try and keep trying. we get success, we get success. If we don't, we just carry on. No option.
Dave must prove that he spends 35 hours a week looking for work. Otherwise, some of his benefits could be deducted.
I've got to come down at least once a fortnight and show the job centre that I've done job search. What I've already done on the Universal Credit on the laptop, and then they check. We have a chin wag. If everything goes all right, thumbs up. If it doesn't, well, I'll probably come out a bit angry if they're going to stop me money or anything, but I think I've done enough.
Dave's interview to make sure he's been looking for work lasts half an hour. With his and Yvonne's wedding coming up, he can't afford to have his benefits reduced.
When I went in, she had a talk to me about the job search I've been doing, and she did mention to me that I didn't quite make the hours, but she said it'd be all right this time, but don't let it happen again. So just have to wait and see what they say next fortnight when I go in. She goes, she said to me, make sure you do it all. So I said, right, I can only try, can't I? I said, it's just doing me head in, going back into the shops asking the same questions again. You got any vacancies? But just keep trying, don't we?
In Denton, Brian is also looking for a job. Fiancée Rachel has worked at a department store for the last 10 years, and they rely on her wage to keep them afloat. Today, though, there has been some devastating news.
How's your day been?
A nightmare, to be honest with you.
Go on.
The company's gone into administration. I just don't know if I've got my job or what. Just going to work and you don't know if your job's safe.
Rachel, trust me. The jobs are made up out there. Honestly, you come out of work, Rachel, and you're going to see for yourself what it's like.
I can't live on £70 a week.
No one can live on £70.
It's impossible.
Trust me, I've been doing it and it's hard, it's hard.
If the shop she works at closes, Rachel could soon be joining Brian on benefits.
I'm already thinking now, if I'm losing it, I'm going to start looking for jobs online, do my CV, putting it on, just applying for everything. Just keep applying. But obviously I need a job that's not a zero-hour contract, because that's what they all are these days, aren't they? Mm. And hopefully someone employs me. And say, oh, like I say, I'm going to be on the dole. I don't want to be on the dole.
It's not like years ago where you go in a job centre and they help you to look for a job. It's down to you yourself. All as a job centre is now is if you're late, yeah, you get sanctioned and that's it. That's all their job is. It's not a job centre. All they do, is, you know, is you go out and you find work yourself.
In Moston, Paul is helping Karen get ready for a vital medical appointment.
I can't even bend down to even put my shoes on, can I?
She's recently found out that her £500 a month claim for disability living allowance is being reassessed. Since the couple lost their laundrette business, her benefits have been their main source of income, but she's worried they're about to lose them.
DLA's changing now to PIP, personal independence payment. So I've got to go for a medical, first one I've ever had in 10 years as well. But they're a big con. Apparently they judge people before they even see him and think, let's get right, she's not having it. If I get refused that, I'm going down to Downing Street. Smack David Cameron's face in. Do I look ill?
What?
I don't know, you look iller than me.
Probably am.
Not.
I meant mentally.
Well, yeah, you're mentally ill, but... I'm now on my way to North Manchester General Hospital to meet my fate. I know I'm ill. I don't know. They've probably got me marked down now already, you know, as we're not going to give it up.
After a 2-hour examination, Karen and Paul still don't know how her benefits will be affected. It will take 2 months to find out if she's eligible for the new personal independence payment.
They just asked us all loads of questions about my daily pain, really, and in the end, they said, have you got anything to say? And I said, yeah, they're knocking everybody off this, aren't they? And he said, well, not necessarily, didn't it, Paul? I said, people could be making it up, didn't I? He said, we can tell.
Back at home, Karen and Paul weigh up the chance of losing her benefits.
I think it went all right. I'd say, like...
You don't know, though, because they're all two-faced bastards, aren't they? So... You can't say, can you? Tell them... See? Always dropping things.
Need a bit.
Me dodgy hands.
There is some potential good news, though. The new personal independence payments are graded, depending on the claimant's medical condition. And if Karen's claim is successful, she could end up with an increase in her benefits.
I'm better off on PIP if I get the enhanced rate. If PIP allow me the highest rate, I'm on over nearly £150 a month better off. So it's even more. It's even more money than what I get now if I did get the enhanced. The worst scenario is just knocking us off it completely. But I really can't see how they could take me off completely. I can't see it.
It's just a case now of waiting.
Just a case of waiting. If I get knocked off, it's the worst case. If I get standard rate, then so be it.
In Denton, Brian and Rachel are still waiting to find out if she's going to lose her job. But after 5 years being engaged, they finally decided to get married, when they can afford to.
This is like our pretend aisle buy as well, as if we're walking down the aisle. Da, 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 da. And the nearest I'm getting to an aisle.
While Brian still doesn't have a job, he's not given up on his dream of running his own pub.
My dream bar is I'd have a place where it's like, where rich people come in, where they don't have to impress everybody and all that, like, but just rich, normal conversation, but, you know, expensive. That's how I'd like it one day. See, I'm one of these, mate. I won't just work in a pub and all that, like. I'd think, right, what does the area need and all that.
I'd like a nice... If I had a pub, it'd have to be like a nice pub, not like a high-end pub.
Brian's also hoping that soon he, Rachel and their 3 kids will finally be able to move in together.
Once I get back on my feet, and I always say this, if we can buy this house, then what I'd do is I'd build an extension on the back here. So I'd have an extension, so I'd bring out the kitchen. I've got that extra bedroom there, so I'd have an house for all the family. It'd be nice if the council gave us a 5-bedroomed house so we could be a family at last.
At the moment, owning their own home is a distant dream, as Rachel, the only breadwinner, is worried she's about to lose her job.
I need to get full-time hours, Bri, anyway, if I want to buy this house and get a mortgage. Because it goes off what you earned, doesn't it?
Of course it does, but it's like me when I was at work, when he brought all this zero contract hours and all. How can you plan a future on zero contract hours? It's impossible. With a family of 5, but living in 2 separate houses, it just doesn't make sense, does it? It's like now, can you imagine being married and then living in separate houses? That'd be mint. No, can you imagine?
For now, all the couple can do is remain hopeful their luck is about to change.
I think the older you get, there's things you think, oh, I wish I could have done when I was younger and all that, don't you, and all that, like. I would have sent myself to an early grave, Rach.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can walk down the streets in Manchester and get popped off, so what's the, you know, I don't worry about nothing. Nothing bothers me in that way.
I feel like the sun's coming out, Bri. Do you?
I do.
Since filming ended, Karen's benefit reassessment has been completed and the amount she receives has been reduced.
There's virtually nothing left now from the benefits that we received a couple of days ago. So that means we're probably going to end up borrowing now, just like to get the few more essential bits.
Yvonne and Dave's dream wedding is getting closer and they've ticked another essential off their list.
We've got the wedding rings. Both the same. He's got smaller fingers than me.
I haven't.
Yeah, you have?
You haven't.
And while Rachel's been made redundant, she's still keeping Brian in takeaway dinners. And they're hoping to move in together soon.
Right, finger some teas.
Spaghetti bolognese.
No, not spaghetti bolognese.
See what I mean? I say this every week and I never get it.
No.
See you later. Love you.
All right, love you.
Never mind the weather, as long as we're together.
It's hard enough getting a job anyway, but when you also have a health problem, it can sometimes feel like there's no hope. New On Benefits Life on the Dole, tomorrow night at 8.